Morning, guys. You guys having fun here today? This is pretty incredible. I will be talking about, once you have your videos, how do you get it seen? And even cooler, how can you actually make some money off of those videos? So I'm going to fly through my PowerPoints. If we could pop on the PowerPoint, Jim. So I'm with the Creative Treatment. It's a video production company I started. I'm from here. I'm from Bismarck, North Dakota, and went to film school in Bozeman, Montana. After film school, worked at a couple production companies across the U.S., and about 5-6 years ago, really saw a shift in how movies and video were distributed and marketed. And so I'll be talking a little bit about my experience and hopefully give some ideas for you guys how you can do something similar. Real quick about the Creative Treatment. If we go next slide here, Cindy. We are a business here in North Dakota, about 2 years, and we do work, advertising work, as well as documentary series and content for businesses. We have a real quick reel we can show you. Just pull this in. Is this all right, Jim? Can we play it real fast? Some of our work we did. So that's some of our work. We try having different visual styles, a lot of different projects. So that's our work. Let's talk a little bit about distribution and marketing. This is the big thing that is changing filmmaking, changing how we can distribute our ideas and distribute video. Originally, video was only distributed and marketed through either Best Buy or broadcast television or theatrically. To do this, you needed to go to Hollywood, or you needed a big financial backer, because it requires a lot of money to get it on the shelves of Best Buy or to make film prints. The other thing was marketing, for people to be aware of your movie. The standard rate to market a studio movie is $20 million. So whenever you hear a budget for a movie, it's always at least $20 million more just to buy TV ads, online ads, just in the US. And internationally, it's probably double that. However, the internet changed both of those things. The internet took care of distribution and marketing, and most remarkably, for absolutely free. Right around when I started my business, I was looking at the statistics on how we consume video. And online video is the #1 way people spend time online, even more so than Facebook. 69% people would rather watch a video than do anything else online. And that makes sense. People go online for either entertainment or information. Those are the two main reasons. And I would rather watch a video on how to tie my shoes than read a page how to tie my shoes. Well, I probably have bigger problems if that's what I need to learn. Just some statistics on that. 43.5 billion videos were streamed in 2011. 105 million Americans watch video online each day. More current statistic. Just last February, 83.3% of US internet users watch video online, and 73% of those people watch it daily or at least once a week. And this is mainly because our internet has gotten a lot faster, and we can stream stuff much easier, and all of our devices are connected, so we can watch on many different platforms. So it's just a lot easier to stream stuff, watch stuff online. How many people use Apple TV or Netflix or Hulu? Yes, majority. It just makes sense, because normally you would have a disc that is scratched, or you watch a DVD. The idea that streaming, you can watch anything instantly, you don't have to store anything, and you can pick it up on multiple devices is incredible. And you can even share and talk about it. It's 100% the future. This is just something from a couple days ago on the predictability of the streaming content. This is in regards to Apple TV and Hulu and Netflix, how people actually watch stuff on a TV set. And it's estimated that it's going to go to 145 million in 2017. So the audience is only going to grow. And again, it just makes sense. You guys are the young generation. We're the ones that are watching stuff online, so that's how it's going to happen. So how does this apply to North Dakota? The rural areas have been receiving the highest amount of growth for online and social media use. I believe it's because of a big lack of options out here in North Dakota. We only have 2 theaters here in Bismarck, so we don't get a lot of independent films. We don't get a lot of older content. And so it just is a way for us to have a lot more options in more of a rural environment. Where do we watch? This is the big important thing. I think everyone agrees YouTube is the #1 spot, and it has a huge market share. YouTube is also owned by Google. So Google's the #1 search engine, YouTube's the #2 search engine. So a majority, if you're going to look for anything, it's going to be on YouTube. Some facts on YouTube: more than 1 billion users each month, 4 billion hours of video watched each month, and in 2011, YouTube had more than 1 trillion views, which is just nuts. So YouTube is where people are watching. YouTube is free. So it makes sense that if you have a video, if you have an ad, which I'll also throw in there, that YouTube is most logically the best place to put it on there. Some tips for putting on your YouTube. You guys are young. I'm sure you guys all know how to create a YouTube account, but you need a Gmail account. But the big kind of things to know is make sure your video looks really good out there. So either export it as a .mov or .mp4. Those are the 2 best quality formats for YouTube. And you want to get into 1080p, which is HD. YouTube is fantastic where it breaks down the different playback settings, so you have different resolutions, but you always want to make sure you take advantage of that HD. So try to export your videos at 1080p HD if possible. And then the next thing is you want your video to be found through searches. So you always want to tag and annotate your videos. A good way to build an audience is to find videos that are very popular and have similar keywords in your title or in your description. That way when people are watching, Gangnam Style, your video pops up on the side. And it just has a bigger chance to reach a larger audience. The only downside as a filmmaker here in North Dakota of having this free distribution platform of YouTube is that there is now, it's open to everyone. And 72 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every single minute. So you very quickly can be lost in the shuffle. But this is where the internet took care of the other half of the puzzle, which is marketing. Marketing was taken care of by social media. The internet's getting so big, and it will continue to grow throughout our lifetime, that social media has become the way for us to find what we're looking for and find good entertainment and for good videos to rise to the top. That's how viral videos are shared and go viral, is because people post them on Facebook, and then you see your friend liked it, and so on. The other great thing is Twitter. Twitter is more open and shorter. Facebook is more closed but a lot more trusted. And LinkedIn is more for businesses. Let's go to the next one. But by promoting your videos on social media users are 5 times more likely to click on your video. So not only is it a way for you to spread the message out, but it's also a way, it's the audience that is most likely to watch your stuff online. So basically, once you have your video, put it online for YouTube for your distribution, And then you need to get a lot of views, so then create a campaign through social media. Now, to do this, I recommend that you are consistent. You really need to look at big movie studios and see how they're doing it. They really crack the code on marketing movies. And the one thing they all have is consistency and redundancy. So you want to make sure you customize your pages. I recommend just Facebook and Twitter are the two main ones you want to put your time into. But make sure you have similar branding. It's cool if you can have graphics. Make sure just if people go to that page, instantly they recognize this is Bill's film, this is your film. And then also, you want to make sure that you connect all of your sites. So when you are talking to your Facebook audience, that it can seep over to your Twitter audience. And it's very easy to connect your Facebook and Twitter feeds. So if you post one thing on one, it goes to the other. But basically, the key to marketing on internet is to put yourself in as many different communities, as many different platforms as possible. You don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket. And that's how you'll really see some good results. So make sure all of your accounts are connected. So your YouTube leads to your Facebook leads to your YouTube leads to Twitter. All of them are connected with branding as well as actual links and dialogue. The last note on there is to share and embed your videos. You really want to go and find people with similar interests in your videos. If you do a snowboarding film, go to Snowboarding Magazine, go to famous snowboarders and fan pages and post your video. Think about who would want to see this, and the internet allows you to find those groups, allows you to find those small communities, those tribes that normally broadcast television, Best Buy marketing was so broad. Now with social media, you can target very specifically on who sees your video and join communities that are more likely to like your video. Here's just an example of a client we did on how you can brand all of your stuff the same. This is HIT over in Mandan. We did a social media campaign, but we made sure all the graphics for Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook are the same. We made sure that they all lead to each other, and they go back and forth. Just some real quick stuff. You want to make sure that you share your video with people of interest, like I said. And then also, don't be afraid to repeat your posts. The chances that people are going to see when you post something about your video is very rare. So do it multiple times, change times. I found the most effective times to post stuff online to get a response is in the morning between 8 and 10 a.m. and in the afternoon between 4 and 6, or later in the day between 4 and 6. So post your video, post stuff about your content during those times. And don't be afraid to repost it, but also kind of have different text or take a different angle when you repost it, so the people that do see it twice aren't getting hit over the head with it. Go to the next one. So you have your video, you put it online, you build an audience, you're seeing it. How can you make money for it? There's a lot of different ways you can make money with your content online. Number one is through YouTube, through sponsorship, through the ad dollars. They have Google ads or YouTube ads that go in front of your videos, and you get paid every time someone clicks on one of those ads. Now, it's very, very small, sometimes even just 1 cent, so you really don't even see a huge paycheck from that unless you become, someone like Daily Grace or whoever that is. But just like a larger, more consistent audience, you can really build a revenue stream. But it's really, it's not a long-term consistent revenue stream. Go to the next one. So I wanted to test all this stuff out, and I wanted to see how we could try to make money with our videos. And so we created the Daily Dakotan. The Daily Dakotan is a YouTube video series, 2 to 3 minutes in length, for each episode that profiles different people in North Dakota. I wanted to reach people in North Dakota, so it's built specifically for them. The other thing is that by having a new video every day, it makes it a lot more valuable for people to want to like it and follow it. You like and follow stuff so you can get updated in your feed. By having each day, it made it more valuable that there's something new coming out. So we wanted to make money 3 different ways. The first way would be sponsorship. We wanted to be able to build an audience that was large enough that we could go to local businesses and say, we have, you know, a large enough audience that we could start selling some ad time. And we could have incorporated ads. A lot of podcasts do this, but it's the old kind of 1950s idea of this show was brought to you by, which is really taking over marketing right now. And so we wanted to see if we could build an audience that would get a sponsorship, but in order to do that, we needed to have a good audience. It's really hard for someone to write you a check if you don't really have an audience already built in. The second way would be the traditional TV route, which is licensing. We wanted to see if we make these videos, if we could license them to other TV shows, to other TV stations, to other websites, but basically we own this content. And it's similar to how a sitcom goes into syndication. They get paid every time it's played. And the third way that we wanted to try to make money would just be DVD sales, that maybe we could try to sell DVDs off of these or do something on Kickstarter where people pay for the production of some DVDs. So we went in to Daily Dakota with a plan to monetize it that wasn't in one basket. We really had three different ways that if we get a little bit from each, we'd hopefully make our production costs back. So the results of the first season, we got 2,000 subscribers, which is people who liked us, followed us on Facebook, which is important to sponsors because you have a guaranteed audience that are already going to see it. And then we got 22,000 views, which is good because we didn't do any paid advertising. It was all word of mouth. And that was an average of 750 views per video. Now, the TV stations here, they claim about 10 to 20,000 views every time you pay for an ad on TV, and it's about $100 for a 30-second ad. So we used that ratio to come up with our pricing for this series. But we also had something really unique of YouTube allows very specific audience retention numbers, where any video you have, you can see exactly how many people are watching it and for how long. That's the audience retention down there. So not only were we able to go find sponsors by saying, we have 2,000 subscribers, but we also said we have a proven video product. We have something that is 3 minutes, and more than 90% of those people watch the whole video. That means they're invested in the story. That means they actually get something out of it. The biggest key to marketing is trust. You're getting thrown ads every day. You only really care about the ones that you trust. And so this really showed that we had trust to our marketers, that we had an audience that was engaged and ready to watch and cared about the product. And that allowed us to actually get sponsorship for our second season. Season 2 of Daily Dakotan was sponsored by Bank of North Dakota, where they paid for ads that would go at the beginning of the videos. That would be, this was brought to you by Daily Dakotan. Another way we kind of were able to maximize enticing them to sponsor was that we included an advertising budget where we're going to advertise for Daily Dakotan. We're going to put Facebook ads out there, we're going to do TV ads, and we're going to do newspaper ads, and we'll put your logo on there as well. So not only were we trying to say, hey, we have 2,000 subscribers, but we also said we're also building upon traditional media, which has 30, 40,000 guaranteed views. And so those two things together gave them the confidence to give us sponsorship money, and it turned out really well for them. If we can go to the next one. Our subscribers doubled pretty much. Almost 60,000 views for our series, and about 1,000 views. So our numbers went up. This was due because we were able to use traditional marketing to get the word out about the show. But it also was very great for our sponsor. We were able to show them that more than 98% of the people that watched the videos watched the ads. And so that's something that TV cannot provide. So that is clearly the future for advertising. Something else we're able to do is we're able to lead right to the Bank of North Dakota's site. So they were able to have an immediate follow-up, another something that traditional media can't do. So we were able to come up and get sponsorship and really compete with these big stations that have been around for 40, 50 years using YouTube and Twitter, which are completely free. Go to the next one. This is a really amazing graph we found that shows, once you have a video, all the revenue streams that you can make, all the different ways you can monetize your film. I'm I'm just going to touch on a couple of them. The main ones are television, internet, physical, and theater. Television is basically syndication. That is you getting your show or getting your movie on TV, getting it with a digital cable provider. We were able to actually do this with KXMB. CBS here, every Sunday, they were able to air our daily decoding videos. Up there is internet. This is kind of like the YouTube model where you can sell advertising online, but then also you can have direct sales where you can sell your video through YouTube, or not YouTube, well, I guess you can, but through iTunes, Amazon, but direct download sites, as well as Hulu, Netflix. Everyone is investing in content. The distribution and marketing is free, and not only do you have the opportunity, but big studios and distributors are recognizing this. And so that's why Netflix is doing, any Arrested Development fans here at all? Not really, a couple. They're doing a new series of Arrested Development. They did a series called House of Cards. Zombieland, people like the movie Zombieland at all? Amazon just bought a series for a Zombieland spinoff. So these distributors are investing in content. So if you have a good video, so many people want it because the distribution and marketing is free. So if you feel like you don't want to do this on your own and try to sell yourself, I recommend trying to go to these people that are looking for content and selling it to them. Hulu, Netflix, Redbox, the little 99-cent DVDs, they just signed a big deal where they're going to be investing in content. And what's good for them is that they have exclusivity, which is like a TV station. So only Netflix has Arrested Development, only Amazon has Zombieland. So basically these websites are becoming the new TV channels. And very quickly, and right now with Apple TV, TV and internet are becoming one. And so that's why this is possible. In about 5-6 years, you know, I really believe that a majority of broadcast and cable TV model will be gone. It's very archaic. The idea that you have to pay over $100 for 5 channels that you watch just doesn't make sense. The idea that you can pick and choose what channels you get individually, that's the future. And that's where you see all the companies investing their money, and that's where you see the audience growing heavily. And on top of that, you can get very specific analytics that broadcast television can't. Physical in the top right, that is DVDs, another way that we tried doing it, as well as merchandise. If you have a brand that's interesting, daily decoding t-shirts, mugs, any of these things, you just pay for the investment cost of it, and you can make a good profit off of it. And then the bottom right is theater. This is just exhibition, so you can work something out with the Grand here. If you've got a movie that has an audience, you can rent out the Grand or work in consignment with the Grand where they show the movie and you get a percentage of the ticket sales. So this right here is kind of image, describes my whole talk right here. Of if you have one good film in the center, you really need to think about all the different aspects that you can monetize it. You don't want to just put all of your eggs in one basket again. Look at all the different models, and these are very proven to be successful. And just the other side note on this is crowdsourcing funding. Veronica Mars, are you guys familiar with that recent Kickstarter? Veronica Mars is a show, I believe on the CW, 7-8 years ago, and Kristen Bell was on it. And it was canceled because it was too expensive to air it on TV, on CW, and the numbers weren't so big. So just about a month ago, the creators went to Kickstarter and crowdsourced it. And basically what that means is that they ask for investments before the film is actually completed. And they give out prizes. You can get DVDs, you can meet the cast crew. Are majority of you guys familiar with crowdsourcing? Indiegogo, Kickstarter? But Veronica Mars really was able to show that it's a viable option for larger content. They were able to raise $2 million in less than 12 hours. Right now they're at $4.6 million in less than 30 days. And this is very revolutionary for the film industry because since the beginning of film, there was always risk. You'd have to make a film studios would invest, you as a filmmaker would have to invest your time, and you'd hope in the end, in the back end, someone might watch it and you might be able to get paid for it. But crowdsourcing takes away the risk, where they already have $4.6 million So everything on top of that is pure profit. There's absolutely no risk. I think we're going to see a lot more from crowdsourcing. However, don't expect to get $4.6 million. I think you have to be aware that that was only accomplished because they were on broadcast television and they had a movie star on there that had a lot of social media followers. But there have been a lot of North Dakota Kickstarters that have been successful in the $5,000 and even $10,000 and even $15,000 range. So to make that positive, though, you really need a strong audience, or you really need something that people will be willing to put that investment in beforehand without actually getting something right away. So it's a leap of faith, but if you can build an audience that trusts you, that wants to see more of your films, more of your stories, I would recommend crowdsourcing for that. Real fast to close up, if you are monetizing it, there are legal precautions that you need to take. The kind of big overall thing is if you do want to make money off of your video, I recommend that you get incorporated. You have your own incorporation. It's basically like starting your own business. And then that way, the videos are owned by the business. So if you do want to sell your video to Redbox or Netflix, there is actually a way for them to do that. However, if you just make the video by yourself and you don't copyright it and you don't have a business set up, quite possibly they could steal it because you haven't protected yourself legally. So if you really feel like there's a big opportunity where you can make some good money off of it, I recommend starting a separate business or a production company and having your video be owned by that production company. It also protects you in case you get sued, in case your production crew breaks something big or you use something without permission. By having a separate business, then the business is liable to get sued, and you yourself, your personal assets aren't vulnerable. Real quick to avoid getting sued is you want to make sure you have talent releases signed. This is stuff you can find online very easily. But basically, you want to make sure every person on camera signs one of these. And it just says that they are aware that you are filming them, they are aware that you will make money off of it, and they are aware that they will get paid a certain amount of compensation. And so you can work something out with your actors, whether it is an amount that you give them, or if you don't have any money, you can do it for free and try to pay them with craft service for food on the day, or maybe help them out with their film. Or you can do partial ownership, which means that you don't actually give them any money, but if you make any money off of it, they would own 5% of the actual project. So there's a lot of different ways you can work out, but you want to make sure you sign your talent release. Next, if you're in a public area and you're thinking, how can I film this scene? A lot of low-budget films, you can't shut down a city street. You need a film on a city street for your scene. And you can't be running around having every single person sign a talent release. So there is a possibility in a public area for you to put up a notice of filming. You do need to clear this off with the city, though, wherever you are, so they're aware of it. But this basically, by putting these signs up very visible all over, it covers your butt legally, where if people walk into your set and say, oh, I didn't know I was in a movie, you can say, well, we had these notices of filming up. And so if you do use these, I do recommend you do take photos on set, just in case you might ever need to prove that you had them on there. Our last speaker did an amazing job talking about the importance of music. I definitely agree with him. But it's really hard to get your favorite song to let you make money off of their song in your video. So you do need to get a music license agreement. These, again, you can Google and find these. It basically says that by using the song, you give them amount of money, or again, you can give them a percentage of ownership, and you can use the song. And you want to make sure you have this signed before you release your video. You want to make sure all these forms are signed, because you don't want to release your video and it's a big hit and takes off huge, and then you got to go back and get your actors to sign these, because then they could be really hard to work with, or they could not even want to sign it. You might have to take down your video that you already built an amazing response or audience for. That is it. I know you guys have lunch. Any other questions, concerns, grievances? Yeah. All right, thank you guys. Have a good one.
View this program again at freetv.org, on Community Access Channel 12 or order a copy info@freetv.org or 258-8767.